Beyond grievances, is there a solution? It appears that anyone can push any agenda, as long as they can find some justifiable excuse or grievance to blame someone else, while you are secretly promoting your agenda. But if you come down to it, both sides of the aisle of any government use the same tactics to achieve what they want. Who's to say one is wrong and the other one is right, especially when the same tactics are being used? What if, maybe, both sides are wrong? Who would there be to determine if this was the case? We would have to find an outsider, one completely unborn of none of the races, cultures, and creeds, political parties, someone totally outside this world, this universe. Even an alien from a distant planet would not fit the bill, but only would set the division of us and them once again. It appears to be almost impossible to find such an individual. Okay, from this point, I might lose you, the reader, seeing me only as another individual promoting his religious agenda and leader. If you did, I would understand, and would expect you to, at this moment, stop reading, go to the next posting on Facebook or YouTube with messages, opinions, and ideas coming down this pike until you find one that fits your agenda. Thus the circle continues. And what I might have said gets lost in a heap of teachers out there, leading us to who knows where. But if you're still with me, read on. What could I say that might introduce such a thing as I've suggested, pointing to a single individual that would solve all the problems we face in this world, who could honestly prove that he was not biased, simply because he did not originate in this world, but claimed that he totally originated outside the influence of all races, cultures, creeds, political parties, and governments known to mankind. But understand, for this individual to see our true condition, for a time period, he would have to live like us, feel like we feel, and be touched with our entire problem. Without this, he would not qualify as one who really understood us. It would only be the battle between two realities, us and them, and that seen versus that unseen. So, from my understanding, such a person would be able to honestly stand between our many divisions and, coming from his outside viewpoint, see perfectly the nature of our problem, and even might suggest a solution that never entered the minds of men. Things they could not have ever seen or heard, coming from a world at that moment we never realized to be there at a greater vantage point. I personally know this individual. You might have heard of him. From the many distorted rumors out there about him, coming out of the religious world and the secular world. He came to a particular race at first, simply because promises were made to them from this unseen realm he came from, thus wasn't biased. So, in light of this, to assure that he would at least be heard by them, and be able to reveal this promise to them from this unseen realm, he was born as a Hebrew, who some believe that he was virgin born, which I believe also, and was raised by his stepfather and his mother. Their names were Mary and Joseph. You might have heard the debates about this, seeing many rejecting this fact in both the secular and religious world. But what would you expect from the peoples of this seen world, running up against such an individual claiming to not be of this world, thus virgin born? What would they think? They might say that he was crazy, which they did. They might seek to kill him, his being different, and they did. It was what they always had done to anyone that was different to them. Among the racial divisions, why would he be treated any differently? It didn't just stop with the religious world that he came to fulfill promises made to him. It also got the secular government involved as well. He ended up hated of all mankind. He ended up standing alone. Even those closer to him forsook him. Upon his execution by the state, it was believed that even the world which he claimed he originated from forsook him as well. He hung between two worlds, rejected by both, that seen and that unseen, so that any idea of us and them on his part would never be laid on him. That would have been a rather sad story if what followed did not occur. It is later discovered that he came here foreknowing that he would be rejected, yet knowing chose to come anyway if the need would arise. What prompted his coming? Before he came, this one they later called the second Adam, there was sent a first Adam. Remember Adam and Eve? One who was to be the expansion and expression of this eternal, or this realm's eternal plan, to express in a world without end this planet we call Earth. Of course, this is where the mess we see ourselves in today all began, believe it or not. As for that realm's solution, there is no reason to share a solution as long as we have a world that rejects this other realm's very existence and the one they sent to us. His name was Jesus. He was the Son of God, who became a Son of Man and hung between two worlds, one which cannot be denied is getting worse and worse, and the other, quite like this one, searched for one individual who would offer himself, take not only rejection of this messed up world, but also take into himself the rejection of this other world, that the two might once again be reconciled. If anyone ever had a true grievance, it was this man, who didn't do anything wrong other than to be willing to become the needed sacrifice. He laid his life down that we might live. He is the only one ever to make such an offer, and qualified in every way to do this without bias. He who knew no sin became sin that we might become the righteousness of God. Ponder this. So in conclusion, if we could get past our lost sense of that God and that reality, we might find out how he solved all our problems before the foundations of the world. God bless you.